Okay, this is the next one in the series. This is section 4.2a, Guide for Ethical Decision Making. The resulting analysis allows a manager to make a clear assessment of whether decision policy is ethical. Had to scooch in. Okay, that's the end of it. So they have a chart, like a diagram, as I continue to narrate. Data gathering, which is A, gathering the facts concerning the act or policy. Then B, is the act or policy acceptable according to the four ethical norms? 1, utility, does it optimize the best for all constituencies? Next is rights, does it respect the rights and duties of the individuals involved? Next is justice, is it consistent with what is fair? Last is caring, is it consistent with my responsibility to care? Then down to analysis. No on all criteria, then the act or policy is not ethical. No on 1, 2, or 3 criteria, then the next section would be, are there overriding factors? Is one criteria more important? Any incapacitating factors? The past double effect test, so we should make a note to see what the double effect test is. So if it's no, then it's not ethical. If it's yes, then the policy is ethical. And the last category is yes on all criteria policy ethical. So this is a standard chart that a business could use to decide what is ethical or what isn't for the situation. It's figure 4.2, a guide for ethical decision making. Managers should try to apply ethical judgment to the decisions they make. For example, this useful framework for guiding ethical decision making suggests that managers apply a set of 4 criteria based on utility, rights, justice, and caring when assessing decision options. The resulting analysis allows a manager to make a clear assessment of whether a decision or policy is ethical. Sources: adapted from Gerald F. Cavanagh, Dennis J. Moberg, Manuel Vasquez, Making Business Ethical Practices, Business Ethics Quarterly, 95, Volume 5, and such on and such on. So it's our first discussion question. Who is ultimately responsible for ethical organizational behavior? Leadership, managers, employees, and why? Let's consider the classroom as an organization. If a student is cheating on an exam, who is ethically responsible for that action? The student, you, because you are aware of the cheating. Your professor, why did you identify this person as being responsible? That's a good discussion question. Yeah, I think every accountability and responsibility would vary based on the degree of the situation. So cheating, ultimately, it's up to the person that's cheating. I think that's who has the responsibility, who bears the responsibility, the person that's doing the wrong thing. I think there is a moral or ethical obligation or standpoint that the person that sees it could get involved or could not. Some might argue that there's a responsibility to get involved, but then at the same time, you might also cause a problem that might be directed towards you. So maybe you should say something anonymously. Your professor is responsible to make sure everything's fair for everyone, so he has to enforce the rules if you catch someone cheating. And I think it's a system that involves everybody for ethics and for fairness to work. Everybody involved, all parties involved, have to be committed to it. All right. So now we are moving into 4.2a, ethical leadership, section 1 of 2. So ethical leadership, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 requires CEOs and CFOs to personally vouch for the truthfulness and fairness of their firm's financial disclosures. Corporate governance, boards of directors must be independent, ensures the business is being properly managed and that decisions are in the best interest of shareholders. Boards increasingly being criticized even when implicated in wrongdoings. Bribery charges, paying CEO bonuses even though the performance is poor. 4.2 ethical leadership section 2 of 2, informational technology. Online privacy, an important ethical concern for customers and for employees. Balance between individual rights and corporate rights. Potential for abuse of information technology by individuals. Gathering data on searches. Keystrokes and the amount of time on websites. Use of company technology for personal use. Who owns that data? Poll 1. Many people are concerned about their right to privacy and the information collected about them. How many social media accounts and apps do you have? Well, I have one personal, but it's tied to a lot of other endeavors. So I guess I would probably say maybe more than 10 in totality. Maybe between 5 and 10 would probably be more realistic, though. Poll 1 debrief. Online privacy has become a hot topic as companies sort out ethical and management issues. Facebook and other firms have the ability to collect data on the habits of their users, and the restrictions on how can and cannot use that information are ambiguous at best. Surveys show that people are troubled by the amount of information being collected and who gets to see it. Yet social media sites regularly collect data from users. One way management can address these concerns is to post a privacy policy on their website. All right, we're going to take a break. That was section 4.2. Next, we're going to move into section 4.3a.